Hello there, welcome to another Where's the Remote Star Wars video. Today the topic is Star Wars Episode 9, the new film trailer that just released yesterday. And this is just my kind of like thoughts on how I feel about the film and what I feel judging on the panel and the teaser trailer that was revealed yesterday. If any of you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more and drop a like down below if you enjoyed this video. So, Star Wars Episode 9 teaser dropped yesterday. I reacted to it. First time round, there are some good parts, there are some bad parts, there are some concerning parts. So for me, the thing that I'm worried about the most is Palpatine's return, because there are quite a lot of implications involved with that. One of the main things that stands out for me immediately is that it almost undoes the Return of the Jedi film, and it certainly undoes Vader's ultimate sacrifice for defeating, Palpatine, who's essentially like the ultimate evil in Star Wars, defeating him to save himself and become, one of the Force, and to like correct and bring balance back to the Force. So if Palpatine comes back and if Palpatine is alive, then that essentially means that Anakin wasn't the chosen one. Which goes completely against what the creator George Lucas had intended. That was his plan for Star Wars. He said Anakin was always the chosen one. I know Disney have been trying to imply that in Rebels and other stuff that Luke was the chosen one, but it's always been Anakin. George Lucas's stance has always been that Anakin Skywalker is the chosen one. And that's why he brought balance back to the Force in Return of the Jedi. So if Palpatine is back and if he's alive, or if he's somehow like reincarnated or somehow brought back to life, and that completely undoes Anakin's status as being the chosen one. And if it's not Anakin, and if it's not Luke because he's dead, it can't be. There's no one else it can be. There's really no one else it can be. I would not be happy if they turn out that it's Rey that's the chosen one, because that goes completely against what George Lucas has intended for the franchise, and it just undoes 6 films. 6 films would essentially be undone if they were to take that approach. We don't know if that's the case, and I'm hoping that it's not. I really hope that it's not. But that is very concerning for me. And even if Palpatine does return, and if he does return, how is that going to work? What's the story arc going to be? I mean, he'll come back to be the ultimate evil. Rey will have to defeat. Rey and Kylo might team up to defeat him, maybe. Again. But yeah, I really hope that's not the case. Like if he comes back in like hologram form, or some kind of recording, send a message to Kylo Ren, something like that, that'd be very interesting. Similar to what we saw in Battlefront 2, when there was like a hologram, Palpatine, the Emperor, like sent a message in the campaign as a hologram, in hologram form. So if he came back in that way, I would be fine with that. That would make a lot of sense. But yeah, if he's brought back to life, that would be very concerning for not just this film, but for the overall Skywalker saga arc, because that's what they've said this film's supposed to do. It's supposed to finish the Skywalker saga. So I really hope they don't take that stance. Another thing that I'm worried about is probably the story. In the panel, JJ made it very clear that the story is about the characters who go on a mission. It's set quite a while after Episode 8, so they're much more defined. They know who they are now. They're not so much like figuring themselves out. They're more mature. But it's, to me, I don't know. It's obviously very, 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 very early stages. Only seen the teaser. Only seen what's in the panel. I could be wrong, but the story, they'd have to make Finn, Rey, Poe very, very interesting characters. The thing that I liked about The Force Awakens is that the chemistry between Rey and Finn was really good, and they were in their early stages, so you were kind of I was more willing to accept their stage of character development because it's the beginning, it was the genesis of their story. Then episode 8 came out and there was literally no development whatsoever. So now this one comes out, and because there's been some time since then, they should be more developed. But if the main premise of the film is centered around Rey, Finn, and Poe going on like an adventure, to me that doesn't sound very exciting as of yet. But my stance on that could change, especially once the film comes out. But if they're fully developed characters, if Lando's there with them and they go on this adventure, could be interesting. But if it's like a completely like different side adventure going on, and Kylo Ren is doing his thing with the Knights of Ren, and then just Rey, Finn, Poe are doing their thing. I'm not sure how I feel about that. To me, that doesn't sound very interesting, but we shall see. But there are some good parts of the trailer. Like, it looks like Rey's like training. So what I thought was quite interesting is that the scene where Rey does the backflip and she's being chased by the first of the ship. Obviously, we don't see it's Kylo Ren. We will assume it's Kylo Ren because of the gloves, but she could be training with Kylo Ren in that scene. I don't know. She could be doing some training, because it looks like it's something that she's having to like prepare herself for, psych herself up for. It looks like some form of training, not just like not just a battle. Because if Kylo Ren was fighting her, I don't think he'd try to run her over in a serious fight with Rey. A very cheap way to get back at her. But it looks like they're trainers, so they could be trained together, which would be very interesting. I like Billy D. Williams, Lando scene in classic Lando. That was pretty cool to see. Some very good special effects as always. There's a lot of good stuff in here. But I'm still concerned. My main concern, like including Palpatine and including the character development, including Lando, because there might not be a lot of screen time for Lando. He's one of the characters. Him, C-3PO, and Chewie are the characters I'm most invested in at this time. Then maybe Kylo Ren. But my main concern is mediocrity. I don't want this to be a mediocre movie. Really can't be a mediocre movie, especially after episode 8. That didn't do it for me. I found that very mediocre, especially after watching The Force Awakens. So this film has to be really, really, really good, especially considering the competition. Like, we're having some really good films coming out this year. We've got Avengers Endgame coming out this year, John Wick Part 3 coming out this year. Star Wars has to be a fantastic Star Wars. Episode 9 has to be a fantastic Star Wars film, and I really hope it is. But my main concern is mediocrity. I do not want a mediocre Star Wars film. But those are my main concerns, my main worries. So let me know what you guys all think about the Star Wars Episode 9 teaser and the panel, everything that went on. How are you thinking? Are you excited? Are you vamped? Are you concerned? Do you have any worries about the film? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe for more Star Wars videos. And drop a like down below if you agree with me or if you enjoyed this video. And I'll see you on my next Star Wars video.